I got a eucalyptus plant. Y'all know that's my favorite thing. It's fine. Something else that's exciting me. The Isis candy is trying, y'all. My beat is getting bigger. Because what I decided is don't be greedy. We have a whole bunch of flowers now. Wait a minute, I say. So I'm mad to say, don't go back. You don't need it. Good morning. Welcome to Yellow Door Urban Homestead. I am Asia, and I'm an urban gardener growing in a small space out in my backyard. It is garden tour day today, y'all. So I am doing a garden tour every week to see the changes in my garden, to show you all the changes in my garden. If you are new here, I am in Virginia, Zone 7B, and I live in an urban space, and I have a garden that at this point is jam-packed with things. And so over a 5-year span, I started gardening in 2020. In a 5-year time frame, my backyard has turned into a whole garden. Someone asked me if I feel like it's a food forest. I feel like it is. I just feel like it's not set up that way. But I absolutely love it. I want to show you all the changes. The garden tours have gotten very long. I'm going to try to make this a little bit shorter today, but it's like pretty early in the morning. So I try to get out here early in the morning to check my garden, to check my chickens, to check my quail. If you're new here, I do have chickens. I do have quail. We are going to just do a garden tour. I did a video earlier this week about the animals. They are doing well though. So I'm very happy about that. If you saw that video, they're doing well. So I'm excited about that. Things are looking up for me with the animals. So let's get into this garden tour, y'all. There are so many things that have changed. I have been harvesting beans, calendula. Oh my goodness. I have so much calendula. I am so happy about that. We have squash in the greenhouse. We've changed one of the beds up in the greenhouse. So it's just a lot of things changing. Of course, you know, I got the yellow green stock planted out. We're not going to talk about the green stocks. I'll link a video because I did a separate video for the green stocks in hopes of kind of shortening these garden tours on Friday. But y'all, I'm excited. So let's just get into it, okay? Today, we're gonna start with the bags. If you remember, I planted sunflowers, beans, cucumbers, and I wanna say zucchini in the bags. They replaced the potatoes. But if you can see, we now have beans growing in the bags. Like this one, nothing like the sunflower died and the beans have not come up yet. So I didn't replant the beans yet, but I definitely direct sowed the sunflower because I want this whole space when you walk into the garden just to be pretty sunflowers, beans, and things of that nature. The sunflowers is what's going to adorn this space. So I'm very big on having flowers in my garden. It is said that they bring in pollinators, but just in general, I think they're beautiful. So I love having flowers in my garden. I use them for cut flowers. I take them in the house. And so I just like having them in my garden. Yes, they take up a little bit of space, but I have learned to just plant them with other things, you know, within my garden. So if you're new here, you're going to see that flowers are planted with the vegetables. I absolutely love planting that way. I think it just makes my garden look so pretty. So we now have beans popping up in the bags. Oh, I believe these are cucumbers. They could be squash. I don't know. The cucumbers have come up. This is the squash. The squash has come up. So we have 2 bags right here of squash. These are 2 bags of cucumbers. And so just very excited to see that. That is like the change because these bags were empty because my potatoes didn't do well this year. So the bags were empty. But now I just think some pretty yellow sunflowers and gets these purple bags. The purple bags are from Bootstrap Farmer. There's going to be a link down in the description in case you are interested, but they are from Bootstrap Farmer. They have all different colors. Purple isn't the only color. Purple is just my favorite color. And so that's why I ended up getting purple. So very excited to see this. And beans grow very fast. And so I imagine in our next garden tour, like they're going to be lush plants. We won't have beans on them yet, but we will have lush plants in these purple bags. And I cannot wait, y'all. The next thing I want to show y'all is the corn. The corn is looking so good over here, y'all. And I'm starting to see tassels. I don't know what they're called. But anyway, I'm starting to see these kind of pop out. This is where my corn is going to grow. This is how it's going to get pollinated. But I'm seeing them in quite a few places. So I'm excited about that. I think that we might get corn this year. It's my first year growing corn. I've never grown it before. By the way, I have them staked. Someone said to mound soil up at the bottom of them, right? So I'm still gonna leave them staked, but the next time I put my compost down, I'm gonna mound it up around the bottom, and they said that should help it to get some stability. So thank you to the person who left that comment. I'm definitely going to do that the next time. I'm just excited to see it growing at all. I have always thought, like, I don't have enough space in my garden to grow corn. Corn is cheap, but I did want to grow it. And so we're growing it this year. It's growing really well. Like, I didn't expect it to get this big this quick, but I'm very excited. So this may be our space for our corn. And the way that I'm fertilizing my corn, because corn is a heavy feeder, as I understand it, is I am putting compost down every 2 weeks, probably just adding compost around the bottom. I'm also fertilizing them with a liquid fertilizer. By the way, y'all, 100% abort mission on trying to figure out the best fertilizer. Every last one of those bottles I empty. I'm not buying no more of that fertilizer. I checked my comfrey tea, 2 days ago. I still wanted to sit a little bit longer. And so the whole reason why I was even doing that whole fertilizer thing is because when you go to the Google, or if you watch other channels, they say that you need to do a balanced fertilizer, right? And I love fish emulsion. I have always said that, but fish emulsion is very high in nitrogen. And so what I wanted to do was find something that was more balanced. It's gonna be comfrey tea, baby, because I can't afford I can't afford to really buy another fertilizer. For one, they come in small bottles, and a lot of them you need a decent amount of fertilizer for, right? And with the garden my size, one would think, you know, a bottle would last me a while. It does not. It absolutely does not. So board mission on that. We going with comfrey. We going with compost. That's what we going to use. Oh, another thing I started doing, and let me show y'all this real quick. If you new here, I have squirrel moments. When it pops in my head, I go for it. So just letting you know right now. Yesterday and the day before, I worked on like cutting back the zucchini and squash, because the leaves are just humongous, y'all. They humongous. And this one looked like it's getting either downy mildew or powdery mildew. Either way, they're getting humongous, and I have other things under them in pretty much all places, because that's how I plant. I've been doing chop and drop. So if I pull the leaf off, I've just been doing chop and drop because I'm not taking care of my compost pile. So yeah, I started doing that. What will happen there is that plant matter will break down and go back into the soil. I have been getting a lot of questions on like, how do I fertilize with the straw down? I just fertilize the same way that I would fertilize if I didn't have the straw down. For liquid fertilizing, I just, pour it on there. It's gonna move through the straw. As long as my soil is moist, it's gonna be fine. As long as your soil is moist, it's gonna soak down in. The plants are gonna be able to soak it up. So I don't do anything extra to fertilize with the straw down. I just put it down. It's gonna move through the straw. So just wanted to answer that question. I've been getting that question on Instagram and over here on YouTube. So yeah, and with the compost, I just put it on the top, because the whole thing with that is it's gonna move down through the soil too. The nutrients from the compost, once it gets moist, it's gonna move down through the soil too. So that's all that I do. Oh, by the way, y'all, for no reason other than that, I think eucalyptus is absolutely beautiful. And I like the smell of it. I got a eucalyptus plant from the local nursery. And so, yeah, I put this in. Now, if y'all remember, this is where the ground cherry is supposed to go. I do have one ground cherry coming up. Oh my goodness, y'all. When I moved my hand across that, it smelled so good. Anyway, this is where the ground cherries were supposed to go. But I said if I didn't see ground cherries soon, that I was going to plant something else. So I got a eucalyptus and I put that in, and I need to figure out something for this spot. But I wanted to grow eucalyptus, and I've had it one time before, but I put it in the flower bed. It did not do well in the flower bed, because that flower bed is like, it's not a very well put together flower bed. That flower bed had rocks in it, and all I did was put down, I'm pretty sure, some cardboard, and then I threw soil over it. So I'm happy that the flower bed is stable this year with the snapdragons, because I don't think it's an ideal way to grow plants, but I wasn't pulling rocks out of the flower bed, and the snapdragons are thriving in there, and so that's what's going to be in there. Now, I did start some flowers. I started some flowers because the snapdragons are going to stop blooming soon. I planted some more flowers from seed, and I'm gonna cut the snapdragons down and then put those flowers in there. So that way I'll still have some summer flowers over there, but I won't have to pull my snapdragons out because they are very stable in that bed, and I'm just happy to see that the bed is finally stable. The next thing I wanted to show y'all is the pepper plants. Now they still small, right? But they're giving me some peppers, and they have a lot of flowers on them. These are Fair or Zone. I think I said in another garden tour that these were Habaneros, but they're Fair or Zone. I don't know if I'm saying it right or not, but we definitely have peppers growing on them. And this long one right here, tall, long, whatever you want to call it, it has a bunch of flowers on it too. I still don't know what plant it is because this definitely, oh, you know, it could be a poblano. Originally, I was like, is this a bell pepper? Because I didn't plant any bell peppers, whether they were orange, you know, red. I didn't plant any. So this may be a poblano, but it has a lot of flowers, a lot of little fruits on it. So I'm excited about that. If you go down this row, this is a jalapeno, and we have some jalapenos on there. This is my shishito, super excited. Should start harvesting these for real. And then back here, we have a banana pepper. So my peppers are looking good, especially in this aisle right here. So they get a lot more sun right here in this aisle. And we have more peppers that are also producing. Very excited about that. Now, I had shown these in my last garden tour. I never fertilized them. I'm gonna give them some fish emulsion. Well, I did fertilize them, not with fish emulsion though. So I'm gonna give them some fish emulsion. Right behind them though is another group, and they're growing well. I believe this is another banana pepper, and we have plenty of peppers on there too. We have another one back here. We don't have any fruit on it yet, so I don't know what it is because I didn't label it. Then we have one back here. Pretty sure that's a Jimmy Nardello maybe. And we have another one back here that's giving us some peppers. So the pepper plants are starting to produce. We have more peppers over here. These have not really started to produce yet though. Plenty of flowers, but not any, oh, I take that back. I'm pretty sure this is a cayenne long right here. Pretty sure that's the cayenne long, and it's starting to produce as well. But they're, oh yeah, I just haven't been paying attention. They are producing. So excited about that. I have quite a few cayenne long peppers in here because I give them to the chickens. By the way, Calvin, hey, if you're watching, Calvin from So Good Gardening, you asked a question on my chicken video about whether you put the hot peppers in their food or not. You can just give it to them however you want to. You can put it in their food. You can kind of, you know, put it on the ground. They're gonna eat it. So just as long as you give it to them, it's good for them. The capsaicin in it, as I understand, is good for them. Shoot, as I have learned, because that's a part of what I have been doing for my chickens, it is good for them. And so I grew a whole bunch. I am going to preserve them, dehydrate them, so that I can have them all year long. So I'm hoping for a really good crop of cayenne peppers, but I planted quite a few plants. So excited about that. I need that for my chickens. The next thing, y'all, look at these plants that's on this middle trellis. So these are cucumbers and cantaloupe. They have reached the trellis. They are bushing out. Very excited, very, very excited to see that. My daughter loves cantaloupe. I do not eat it, but I am very much excited for her and also excited for the cucumbers that will be growing soon. I was not really a big cucumber eater before I started gardening, right? Because cucumbers don't taste sweet in the store. Cucumbers that I grow in my backyard that's been watered well, have a slight sweet taste to them. And I absolutely love it. I'm waiting for cucumbers. Now the cucumbers on the trellises over here, they don't look that good, but I think it's because they're getting shaded. Let me show you real quick. This is the worst one, y'all. Look at it. I mean, it looks terrible. I am going to start watering a little bit better over here, though. I think we might have some issues with watering, but that one looks terrible. This one, if you get closer to the top, is looking fine, but at the bottom, ooh, child, they look absolutely terrible. So I'm going to make sure I start to water a little bit better over here so I can get a nice bushy cucumber cucumber that goes up this trellis. One of the things that I absolutely love in summer is when the trellises get full, kind of like this grapevine. I like when it gets full and it gets bushy like this. And so I want to make sure that I am watering that cucumber well so that it can cover the trellis like this grapevine is covering it. By the way, remember I said I was probably going to put some of the miniature cucumbers down here? I planted them already. Just got to get around to putting some more compost down here so that I could get it on the trellis and that they can have like good soil. There's wood chips and things down here. So with that being said, I just want to add some more soil down here so that I can make sure they have what they need to grow. So that's going to be exciting. I want to use all of my space to the best of my ability. Like if I have the space, I want to be able to use it. I want to use it nicely. Y'all look at this. Well, efficiently. Let me tell you what just happened there. I started looking at those nasturtiums and then I just said whatever came to mind because I was ready to tell you about these nasturtiums. Look how beautiful they are. I mean, this plant has just done really well. I'm not sure which ones they are. If I could find the packet in the house, I'll put it up there. But they're absolutely beautiful. Nasturtiums are edible. I say that all the time. And this year, I'm thinking I'm going to let this plant go to seed, probably self-sow itself for next year. And I'm going to let the seeds drop so that they can volunteer because, I mean, this is just a really beautiful plant. I love it. Speaking of nasturtiums, that trailing nasturtium is definitely starting to move down the bed. And I didn't know it was a trailing nasturtium when I put it in, but it was a pleasant mistake. So it's moving down the bed. I need to take it off because it's trying to go up the trellis. See right there, it's attaching to the trellis. That's not what I want. I want it to stay on the ground and go around the bed. So that's what we're doing, but I think they would be really pretty on a trellis, so I might put some on a trellis next year. My garden is very tight. It's very tight because at this point I've put bags in the walkways. I'm just trying to maximize my space and grow as much as I can. So in order to add a bunch of bags this year, I had to put them in the walkway, and I'm okay with that. The cherry tomatoes are really doing their thing. I had my first sun gold a few days ago, so this is a sun gold tomato. Right here is also a sun gold. We're getting another truss of sun golds up here. This will be another truss soon, so pretty excited. The Isis candy is trying, y'all. It's trying. I can see a little tomato there. So I just want to try it. I mean, I have cut. Oh, by the way, I did go through and cut all of my lower leaves on all of the tomatoes. And I did not cut the suckers. I cut the sun leaves lower to the bottom. Any suckers that's on the plants, I'm leaving them this year. We'll just see what happens. I want to get as many tomatoes as I can. Suckers create new plants, essentially. And so that's what I'm going to do. Also, I didn't take care of them early. So if I were to try to cut all the suckers now, it would be quite a big task. And I don't want to do it, true story. So yeah, that's what we're doing. The Isis candy is trying. And so I'm going to let it stay here until I could at least try one Isis candy. Because y'all said it's absolutely delicious. And I want to try some absolutely delicious stuff. So let's quickly talk about the beds. So you have some nasturtiums that I planted later than those. So what I'm hoping for is if those start to die out, these ones up here, these will start to grow, and then I could put well, those I'm going to let go to seed. But if I wasn't, I could put some more nasturtiums up here. Then these would be getting big while those were getting established. The beans are flowering and actually producing beans. Let me show you. So right here you can see we have beans coming out. So we'll be ready to harvest those soon. So these beans were planted in succession. The ones that are flowering now were planted first. The ones in the front I planted about 2 weeks later. So they're not flowering yet, but what I have done now that I noticed that these are producing beans is I've went ahead and started some more or planted some more in cell trays, because once these die out, like once I get a good flush, I'm going to pull them and I'm going to plant beans again. Also went through and kind of pruned the calendula, so we still have quite a few buds coming on though, so that's excited. What I'm doing is once this flowers, I'm going down here or maybe here, because you could get another flower stalk from this little section where the leaf connects. So that's what I've been doing, just so they don't look so long and spindly. So I did that yesterday, which is why there are none that's open right now. I never did find any stakes for the tomatoes that I put in that will take the place of any zucchini or squash, because more than likely the vine borers are on their way. But looky here, looky here. We have another squash in the bed. The one that was back there, I went ahead and I harvested it. And our zinnias, now that one does not look the best, but our zinnias are started to produce flowers, and so I'm excited to see that. If you remember, I have lupin back here too. So that lupin probably isn't gonna do anything right now because it's being shaded. But lupin is perennial here. So once this stuff comes out and it does get established next year, I should have a beautiful group of lupin in the back of that bed. And so excited about that. Won't have to plant them again next year. I am all for some perennial plants and some perennial flowers. Like, I'm not even joking. In the front of that bed is the snapdragon. So we still have the next flush. Remember, I told you I cut them, but I think that they will, you know, bloom again one more time for me. This one also is about to bloom again one more time. And I just like cut them and drop them in the bed. Like I said, I'm not gonna take care of that compost pile. I'm just not gonna do it. And so with that being said, I'm doing like a chop and drop. So it still goes back to my garden. And some of it I do give to the chickens as well. The next bed, this is the one where I showed you that I had put some eucalyptus in. We still have some more nasturtiums that I recently planted. There is a beautiful calendula in the front. These beans are also starting to produce beans, so excited about that. And then in the back, I still haven't seen any fruit come off of these squash or zucchini, but it's okay. And then, I mean, the Swiss chard is doing well back there. Now, when I say doing well, it's not dying, because it's definitely not growing. I also haven't harvested any of those leaves, and so with that being said, that might have something to do with it as well. Anywho, on this trellis, you can see cucumbers. So these cucumbers are doing pretty well right here. They have a little bit of yellowing on them, but those are the leaves at the bottom, so they're older anyway. Now this is the bed right beside the one I showed you. Cut down the calendula, but we are getting some more flowers. This squash, or whatever it is that volunteered, is starting to throw out male flowers, so that's exciting. I still don't know what kind of squash it is. So we will see. Calendula down there looking good, nasturtium. Oh, by the way I'm harvesting beans these days, I don't have buckets yet, but we will soon. Like, these need to be harvested now. I'll probably get them after I finish this tour, but they're all over. The bees are back too, y'all. I'm super excited about that. We have a whole bunch of flowers on here, whole bunch of beans. So my, what a difference a week can make, right? The sunflower in that bed is getting huge too, pretty much close to the top of the trellis. So I can't wait to see that flower. Sunflowers, I always love having them in my garden. And I did plant more of those because some of the ones that volunteer, they're just not doing that well. And I honestly think though, it's because they got shaded. A lot of things were already at a decent size when I was moving them. And then I also still had my fall vegetables in, so they just got shaded, but I started some. I also had a variety that have never grown before. I'm guessing someone sent it to me and it just looked beautiful. I don't know what the chicken's doing. And it was just beautiful. So I started that, and I'm gonna put those in too, near the trellises. Something else that's exciting me on this trellis, these are my honey boat squash, y'all. Y'all know last year my honey boat squash didn't do well, and I love honey boat squash. They taste very much like sweet potatoes in my opinion. So they're growing well. There's another one down there, but it's very stunted because I think that it was shaded, but I'm just leaving it. We'll see what happens with it. But yeah, honey boat squash coming in, very excited. And then there's another trailing nasturtium down here too that I'm just training to go right on down the bed. And I don't have much in the holes of the bricks. My plan was to add some marigolds to them, but my marigolds did not germinate. I have not had success with marigolds germinating this year, and at this point I've said we're not gonna try to germinate no more marigolds at this point. We're not gonna do it. So I haven't, and I'm fine with that. And so the long middle bed, that's looking good. It's starting to get right lush, and I'm excited about that. I did go through and top all the basil too. By the way, there's basil in both of these beds too, but you can't really see it because of everything that's just so lush over there, but it'll be fine. I do go through and move the leaves, so eventually it'll get just as tall as everything else, and then I won't have to worry about it. So I remove leaves from other plants to make sure the basil can get some sun to start growing up. But back to this bed, these are the pretty calendula that I said I'm just not harvesting. I am deadheading them, and when I say deadheading, I'm just taking off any blooms that have died back already just to keep them producing, but I want them to stay in the garden because I think they just so pretty. The eggplant is still getting eaten up, but it's still growing, and that's all that matters to me. My eggplant gets eaten up by flea beetle every year. Every year it happens. Then the peppers are in here, and we do have peppers that are actually flowering in this bed, and so I'm excited. I'm excited because I haven't really had success with peppers in the actual garden beds over the years, and this is what I'm doing this year because I'm trying to figure out, like, how can I grow peppers in the beds as well? Now, when it's time to plant for fall, those peppers will go into bags. I will transplant them into some bags so that I can plant for fall, but I still want to be able to use my space efficiently during the summer, and so the bags are a great place to put them, but if I can get more peppers in the beds, I would love that too. My tomatoes are pretty much always going to be in bags just for the trellising situation because I grow mostly indeterminate. Indeterminate means that the tomato is just going to keep growing until you take it out, until a disease takes it out or pest takes it out. But like my peppers, I would be okay with that because peppers get bushy, and they could grow in the beds just fine, and you don't have to stake them. Sometimes they get big enough where you do need to stake them, but you don't have to. Speaking of tomatoes, we have the tomatoes, and you can see I've gone through and taken off the bottom leaves, and that's just for airflow. There's one right here though that I should take off. I must have missed that. I did it when it was kind of dark outside too. And down here there's some that I probably need to take off too. But you can see I've taken off pretty much all of the bottom leaves. Now, if there was a sucker close to the bottom, I left it because it should grow up, and then I should be able to start attaching it to the strings that's in there. By the way, the early girls still here sitting green, but they gonna start changing soon. It's another group down here, but new this week is we have new ones. There's more up there too. So the early girl is amazing. Definitely will be something that I'm growing here from here on out. There's more tomatoes growing here. So yeah, pretty excited about the growth of the tomatoes. The plants still look good, even though I neglected them for weeks, y'all. For weeks. Over here, we have one of the black beauties, not in the best spot, but it's okay. That tomato still has some flowers on it. Another black beauty is coming in. You got more flowers up here. So yeah, I'm excited about the way that they are looking. This is another group of tomatoes. Some determinate tomatoes are in here as well. So it's very, very bushy because I did my best not to take too much off of them, but I did still make sure I had a good amount of airflow at the bottom. Now you really can't see because of these pretty large zucchini that I showed you earlier. But also we have a black beauty zucchini in there too. I hand pollinated that, although I probably didn't have to, because as I said, the bees are back and I'm excited about that. I posted on Instagram yesterday about the bees and they are everywhere. Not this morning, not yet. I've seen a few, but in the daytime, like in the afternoon, they're just everywhere out here, and I absolutely am excited about that. We still have strawberries growing, y'all. I probably need to harvest that one. The strawberries are still growing, so excited about that. I saw one back here, but ooh, that's getting eaten up, so we're gonna pull that off. Now, one of the things that I still haven't gotten used to with the chickens is the top is not open anymore. So when I have something to give them, I try to throw it over the top, and then I realize, girl, it got netting over it. You cannot do that. So I'm about to throw this over there to them. Good thing is, I don't have to open it every time. Maybe not a good thing, honestly, because it needs to be closed off. I could just kind of drop it through the top where the netting is. Somebody got that. She was the only one over there, and everybody is running to it now. I wish I had more, but I didn't. Also, we're gonna take a break real quick. My neighbors just let their dogs out. I'm gonna let them calm down, and then I will come back to see y'all. Okay, we're back, y'all. We're back. Y'all, the dogs was barking. The chickens started hollering. I said, what is going on? I was about to turn the camera on, but then I was like, yeah, we're not gonna do that. But, I mean, it was not loud out here. Good and loud. All right, so let's go look at the other tomatoes that's on the back row. These over here, they're looking really good. I'm very excited because I love Brad's Atomic Grape, and that plant is throwing out tomatoes like nobody's business, and I'm very excited. Now, Brad's Atomic Grape, in my experience, needs a long time to kind of ripen, to ripen. So I just let them stay on the plant until they're like a dark purplish black color, and it's translucent. You can see like some yellows and some purples in it. So that's what I do, a little bit of red, and then they come out like they are so delicious. They have a thicker skin to them, but they have a tang and a sweetness. I absolutely love Brad's Atomic Grape tomatoes, y'all. Now, my daughter, she didn't like them at all. So that's just a tomato that I can eat by myself, and I don't have to share. I'm watching this bee, y'all. I mean, it's just flying around. So if you see there, that's a group of them right here, and I'm just waiting. I mean, they're gonna take a while. I'm not gonna say that they're not, but they are gonna be absolutely delicious, y'all. And we have a sucker here that I'm just waiting to get it up to the string, and I'm gonna put that on. But we have more coming out right there. So just excited in general for this tomato. And then you have some flowers up here. So very happy, very happy. In general, these tomato plants look really good over here. I mean, they look real good. And then down here, you can see took off the lower leaves, but if there was any suckers, I'm waiting for them to get to the top. And that's my plan this year. And like, these are black cherries. Love them too. Pretty sweet tomato. I really like those too. So those are starting to produce as well. And then when you go over here, you have some more indeterminate, darker tomatoes. And you can see like that's a black beauty coming in. Black beauties all over here. So the tomatoes are finally, well, the slicers are finally starting to come in. I also have my Cherokee purples over here, and that right there is my favorite tomato. Cherokee purple is my favorite tomato. I make bacon and tomato sandwiches all summer long, literally all summer long. I will come outside, well, when I was working, I would come home, make a bacon and tomato sandwich, and then come outside. Like, I absolutely love them. So let's talk about the snapdragons. We'll probably get one more flush out of these snapdragons, literally just one more flush, and then I'm gonna cut them back a decent amount. But we should have an aster coming soon. This one actually has five about to come out, but asters also will bush out. So you can see right here, you have some new plants or flowers about to come out. So I could cut it down, probably not going to. I'm gonna let that plant do what it do. This one over here is also doing the same thing. So what I wish I had done, and what I kind of tried to do, but the seeds just was not working with me. What I wish I had done is planted a whole bunch of asters in with them. So when the snapdragons died out, the asters would start flowering. At this point, it's gonna take longer than I think I have to get the asters out, and then they take like 90 days to mature. And so I don't know. I might still try, but I did plant some other flowers because I do want this bed to still produce flowers. And I found that the butterfly bush or milkweed, whatever you call it, whichever one this is, not what you call it, because you know it's two different plants. I just don't know which one it is. They don't last long either, but I have seen butterflies on them, so I'm excited about that. And then the echinacea, there's two echinacea plants in here, and they both have a lot of blooms. Well, not blooms, but they're about to bloom, if that makes sense. So these are perennial. I planted them probably 2 or 3 years ago. If not maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and so they still come back up every year, so you'll still have some flowers in this bed. And then the canna lily, I haven't even tried to take that out this year. It doesn't matter to me. It can just grow. Now, if it starts to spread like further down, I'm definitely going to stop it because I don't want a whole bed of canna lilies. But yeah, snapdragons still going to give me one more flush, and then I'm going to have to cut them down. And then there's sedum in here. That's another aster, and I think this one is going to be more bushy. It's just taking a long time to grow. It's a lot of weeds over here, y'all. I mean, a lot of weeds. Now, I'm gonna tell you, the flower bed, I don't really do too much to it. And if this end had some snapdragons on it, it wouldn't be that weedy. Problem down this end, which I need to figure out. And y'all had told me a while ago to use some of the stumps that I got through chip drop and put down here. What happens is the soil washes out down here. And so I just let it wash out, and then I don't plant nothing right there. It's okay. It's fine, y'all. Y'all know that's my favorite thing. It's fine. Back here in my little shady spot, borage is about to flower, probably about to get huge. I'm gonna let it go to seed because it could just grow here again next year. I had met a subscriber and she gave me some lettuce, and I put that back here too. I need to harvest it. It looks like it's about to go to seed, but that's pretty. Now, she said she wasn't a fan of the taste of it, so we'll see. We'll see. I think it's very pretty. Even if it doesn't taste good, it's very pretty. The other shady bed is still producing. I have been giving the leaves to the chickens. I think I said that in my video. Some of the leaves look really good though. Like the new ones, they look really good. But of course, we haven't gotten into the super hot season just yet. So I don't know how long they're gonna look pretty good. That plantain looks amazing. The mullein is getting some size to it. I keep forgetting that this bag needs to be planted. So I'm gonna put some more soil in it and plant that out too. There's yarrow over here. All of this is a shady space, so that's why the plants don't look just amazing. That is some Swiss chard that I moved out of another bed, and there's more Swiss chard down here. This is the St. John's wort. I think that's gonna take some time to really get started, but it's also shaded. Then my beet is getting bigger. I'm excited to say I'm growing beets. It looked like a beet is growing out of that beet. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, I'm growing beets. That'll be my first beet. It's small, but I'm excited. Oh, I put some nasturtiums over here. This was just an extra nasturtium, but there's also nasturtiums in this bed too. So they say that it's good to deter pests off of brassicas during the heat of the season. So we're gonna see. These my overwinter peppers. I ain't overwintering no peppers this year. I'm not. It was a lot of work. Well, listen, it wasn't a lot of work, which is why they died. I didn't take care of them. They was in my house and all of that stuff. And this is all I'm getting now. Let's just be clear, they're in a shady spot. So that's probably my fault. But yeah, I'm not overwintering no peppers next year. I don't want to. All right, my watermelon aren't doing well, but it's okay. I'm just gonna leave them and see what happens. At this point, everything is pretty much planted. I started some stuff to succession sow. And so if like, I don't know, July, August, they're still not doing good, I may just pull them out. Broke Farmer said something one day. He was like, it was on a live. He said something to the point of like, everybody want to grow watermelon, but everybody don't have space for it. Just go buy watermelon from the store. Truth be told, I don't even eat watermelon. Growing it for my daughter, same thing like with the cantaloupe. But to his point, I could just go to the store and buy a watermelon, and this could be growing something else. But for now, I'm gonna leave it. So that's what the watermelon are looking like. Of course, like the vines are getting long, but oh, well, hello. Wait a minute, I say. Do y'all see that? Do y'all see that? Oh my goodness, I'm excited. It's only on one, but I'm still excited. I haven't even really been coming down here to look at them because I'm just like, girl, oh, they trying to hook on to the calendula plant. That might have worked out well for me. Okay, I forget. Listen, we out here together. Just think about it when I go into my own little tangerines in my own mind. We out here together. Think about like we just out here roaming in the garden. Anywho, look at here. We got our first actual zinnia, a nice size zinnia, but they are branching out, so happy about that. I never cut them down. Y'all kind of probably knew that wasn't gonna happen. I'll be saying stuff and never get around to it. But then there's more zinnias in the back. And if you see how skinny they are, it's because halfway through the day, all right, grapevine, halfway through the day, that area gets shaded by the grapevine. When I originally was watching my son, that grapevine wasn't that big, but it is now, and it's okay because that grapevine, I think I'm gonna get a whole bunch of grapes this year. I really do, and I'm gonna be excited for it. It's so muscadine grapes and a whole bunch of jelly that I could preserve, or, you know, a few watermelons. So that's the way I'm looking at it. That's the way I'm looking at it. I forgot to show y'all this bed when I was over here. This is the little Vigo bed that I said I'm gonna move my lavender to. I'm still gonna move my lavender here, but I'm gonna take everything out because I tried to grow lavender before in a very wet space, and that plant died all the way out. Somebody did leave a message and they said that the lavender would be happier in my native soil because it doesn't like moisture. So I think that as long as I don't give it too much moisture, whether it's in my native soil or in this bed, it's gonna be fine. So what I decided was I will move that maybe in the fall, clear this bed out, move it in the fall, because what I think it would be pretty over here, and I would just watch my watering. And I haven't used the sprinkler this year yet, I don't think. Not for this garden. I've just been hand watering. Also, we've had a lot of rain, and the most I've really had to water so far is the bags, because if you're gonna grow in bags, you need to know that they dry out much quicker than anything else. Also, the way that my plants are, they're kind of covering the bags, if you will. So even when it rains a lot, those bags don't always get watered. So I've been doing it by hand, either with the rainwater or either with the hose. So right now, because we've had so much rain, I really haven't even had to water a lot. So for now, yeah, that's looking good for me. When it get hot out here, I'm gonna have to water. But anyway, point is, what I was about to say is I'm still gonna move them because I think it would be pretty. I'm just gonna watch my watering in the bed once I move them. And then when I move them, I'm gonna put some comfrey there. I'm gonna split some of my comfrey. If you remember, I have comfrey that is in a pot. I'm gonna take that out and put that where the lavender is, but that probably won't be until fall. But back to this bed. We have a zinnia opening up. I'm very excited. We have a roselle in here that's doing better than any roselle that I planted. So I might move the rest of the roselle to this bed. If you remember, I said that I might move the roselle that's back in the back of this bed to the greenhouse, but I'm probably gonna move it here once these potatoes, that's a volunteer potato, once that is harvested. We also have some very large volunteer borage in here. There's another one right there, another one right there, another one right there. So yeah, a whole bunch of borage. And this is another zinnia. It struggled a little bit, but it's doing well. Oh, it's also some onions still left in here. They ain't growing. I just didn't pull them yet. It's another one over there. So not really the normal type garden tour that I do. I'm just talking about the things that makes me excited, makes me happy, all of that kind of stuff. So, all right. Let's go in the greenhouse, which is looking really good. Oh, forgot the orchard. I have been harvesting my rosemary like heavily, y'all, because my rosemary was getting woody like my sage. I cut my sage down. We're gonna see what happens there, but I started some sage seeds. So if I need to replace that plant, I will, and then I will just make sure that I harvest my herbs often, right? So I have been cutting down this rosemary. Every time I come out here, I not every time, but like every week, I cut my rosemary and I dry it and I just keep it because I want the plant to get more bushier than like leggy looking. So that's the rosemary right now. And I'm just coming out and making sure that I cut it down so it can get more bushy. By the way, this is the tree collar, and the actual main stalk pretty much has died back. These are the side shoots that I'm trying to get from the other one too. So eventually I'm gonna pull this off. There's probably like 3 of them on here, and plant them so that I can have more tree collars in the garden. And see, this is where the lavender is. It's just not getting enough sun. Like that's not enough to even harvest. And if I don't start harvesting it, it's gonna get leggy or woody like the rosemary was trying to do. So that's why I wanna move this too. It's just not getting enough sun. And as you can see, the comfrey will still grow with a bit of shade. So that's my plan. I am gonna move that lavender. I'm gonna do it in the fall, and then I'm going to just put a bunch of comfrey down here. Also, there is oregano down here. There's thyme down here. There is sage down here. So that's what's gonna be my ground cover. That was always my plan. When I put the wood chips down, I killed everything. And the peaches are still holding on. I don't think any have started falling yet, but I don't believe that they won't. Eventually they are gonna start falling. But this tree is like got a whole bunch of them on it everywhere. And I'm getting lucky though, because this tree is not like the other tree. It is very strong, so it's not bending the branches with all of these fruits on it. And it's probably because the branches aren't very long. Anyway, I need to figure out how to get the other tree to do the same thing. It just throws out large, long branches. I'm gonna show you. So see, this is my other peach tree. See how the branches are just long in there, like, and I don't even know how many peaches are on that tree because I haven't even really been looking at it, but it's just a big old tree, but I want it to be more like this. And so I'll come through in the summer and cut like this one down and that long one right there too. I was doing that with this tree too, but it's just not conforming. I can see at least one peach on there from over here. It's not conforming though. It's also fighting that grapevine. See that piece right here? That's a grapevine, babe. The grapevine is coming out. It is coming out everywhere. Look at it. Look at it. Look down here. Cause why are you even coming over here? You got 2 whole trellises. But it does not care. It does not care. I am gonna come through and cut that though. Because what I decided is don't be greedy. Like, you can cut some of this. With all of those flowers that's in there, you don't need it to be this wild. Now, when I say that, I'm still gonna let it have both of these trellises, but where it's making it like hard for me to walk through the orchard and stuff, I could cut it. I don't gotta be greedy. All right, the citrus grove. Yay, yay, yay. Look, y'all, we have a whole bunch of flowers now. Like, it's just flowers all the way down this stem. I think we are going to get a lime. Let me see, there you go. Y'all see it right there. I think we're gonna get a lime. This one is flowering now. I'm pretty excited. We have more flowers coming right here. That's a flower there, one right here. If nothing else, we're gonna get some lime out of this citrus grove. But you can see the rest of the trees are still looking good, even though I'm not getting any flowers on them right now. But we'll see what happens. I'm just excited to see they still alive, y'all. That they still alive. And somebody gave me a tip, another tip on these. I had to go back through the comments and read it. I can't remember exactly what it was, but they told me how to get them to start growing a little bit more. Honest truth is, I really don't want them to get growing too much because I gotta get them into pots. I don't want them to stay in these bags too much longer. So, honest truth is, it's okay if they don't grow a lot right now. But I am excited about that lime. Listen, I bought another elderberry. If you watch the video where we went camping, I bought an elderberry. It's already flowering, but you know what? It's still in this pot. Because I don't know what to do with it. I got to figure out what to do with it. Vigo Garden offered me a self-watering pot. I know these get really big, right? But I can contain it if I put it in a pot where it can't grow bigger. And I'm not going to put it in the ground. I don't have anywhere for it to go in the ground. They get absolutely humongous. I watch other videos where people grow them and they just get humongous. I don't have the space for it to get humongous, but I do want to grow it. Girl, if we don't get these tomatoes in something, anywhere, somewhere in the ground. But I could pot them up. I might pot them up just to give them a little more space. But I mean, they're actually already growing tomatoes. They were volunteers, so it's not anything that I took time to plant. They were volunteers and I just took them out of the garden, but they literally growing tomatoes, y'all. And I don't even know what kind they are. These are all of our starts. These here are determinate tomatoes. I'm gonna use them to replace the other determinate tomatoes if they happen to die out. Additionally, we still have the basil. Basil grows kind of slow, but it's growing pretty well. The dahlias, I'm gonna pot them up into the for sale bootstrap farmer trays. These right here, I'm gonna pot them up because I wanna get them planted this year, but I don't know that I actually get flowers this year, but they will overwinter here and I'll get them next year. You got some more tomatoes here as well. Oh, that one ground, we got 2. The ground cherries coming up. They just took forever. So the ground cherries are coming up. I may still be able to plant them over by the eucalyptus. And then I did get a succession sowing sowed. So we got nasturtiums in here. We got beans in here, lettuce in here. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with the lettuce. We have lettuce in here, some cosmos, just a bunch of different things so that when things start to die out, these will already be ready to go into the garden. I have always talked about succession sowing. I watched Charles Dowding, and that's one of his things. He's like, always always have something in the greenhouse or available for you to plant when things start to die out. So that's my plan with those this year. And now on to the greenhouse. Look at the cucumbers in here. The cucumbers in here are doing amazingly. They also don't have enough staking. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. The tomatoes, they are growing well, right? But they're not producing. I don't think we get enough sun in here. Like, they're green, but they are not producing any tomatoes. The amount of flowers are minimal. And so what I did think about doing though is trying to add some bone meal just to see if that would help. Also probably trying to do some fertilizing with comfrey in here. So I'm gonna see, but clearly it's not the soil per se, because these cucumbers are definitely doing some flowering. It's more than likely the tomatoes aren't getting enough sun. Process of elimination, because I am very new to growing in greenhouses, but my greenhouse is doing amazingly for me. It's doing amazing. So we have the zucchini and the squash that we cut back in the last video, if you remember. Well, not the last video, in a previous video. And remember I said it's gonna be fine. Look, it's big and up again. But we have a zucchini down there. Can you see it? We got a zucchini down there. I hand pollinated it. Listen, we got tomatoes in here that's not getting sun but still producing tomatoes. And so that kind of brings me back to this. Those tomatoes aren't getting a lot of sun either. But you know what? These are slicers. So it's possible it's just not time for them to be producing yet. Those are slicers. We're not going to pull them because the plants look just fine. And my whole thing is learn how to garden in the greenhouse. So we definitely not going to pull them. And then that's another zucchini down here. Basil. Going to go ahead and pull the top off of that because it's looking like it wants to flower. Yes, I could have took that in the house. I just didn't. But yeah, that yellow squash is what that actually is. And then over here we have some squash. Pretty flower, but we have squash growing too. This one did not work when I hand pollinated. I guess it's shriveling up. That's how you know you got a pollination issue, which is fine. Over here we got another zucchini coming, just waiting for the flower to open up so that I can hand pollinate it. And back here we actually have another squash growing. It's all about trying things, y'all. I never thought that this was gonna actually like work this well, and I'm very happy, very, very happy. Now listen. Listen, I love this garden bed, right? This was the garden bed from Land Guard. Like, I really love this garden bed. And I know I have a bunch of garden beds, but this one, between the color, how tall it is, I believe it's probably my favorite garden bed. But it's not growing nothing. It's not the garden bed's fault though. It's the fact that this part really doesn't get a lot of sun. So this is where some of the lettuce is gonna go to, because lettuce can grow in a shady space. So this is where some of the lettuce is gonna grow. Like, this is the deal. These are chives. I need to cut these back, but I still don't think that's gonna help none in here because it's just not getting a lot of sun. Like, this bed is kind of stunted, if you will. Now, what I will say is the squash in here are trying to grow. I went ahead and staked them, but they're still very small. Oh, there is a spider living here. Hey, girl. This is another squash plant, and you can see this squash trying to grow on it. Also, the roselle is growing, but I think it's growing leggy, stretching for sun. Not going to pull that out, though, because I do want to see if I can grow roselle in here, because it gets really warm in here, and roselle is a tropical plant, I guess, and it likes the heat, and so it gets moist in here. It gets hot in here. Y'all, you see me, I done sat down in this chair. It gets moist in here, it gets hot in here, so I think that it's a good space for them. I also maybe need to power wash the outside of the greenhouse too, so I may do that in a few days as well. But yeah, just to see if I can get some more sun in here. But it's under a tree, so the point is it's under a tree. By the way, this greenhouse is from Quick Tent. I absolutely love it. It's a polytunnel type greenhouse. It's a 12 by 7 by 7. It's been amazing for me. I always say that, but when I put a video out, most of the times people will say, where did you get your greenhouse from? It's from Quick Tent. There will be a link down in the description. I am affiliated with them as well. So, all right, let's talk about this other bed that I got from Bootstrap Farmer. easiest bed ever to put together. So while I really love the style of the Land Guard bed, like the look of it, how tall it is, how strong it is, if I was to buy another one and I did need it to be tall, it would be this Bootstrap Farmer bed. And this one I purchased myself. Land Guard sent me that one. This one I purchased myself because I have nails, which by the way, y'all, I had to go get 2 nails fixed the other day because these are my June nails. I only get my nails done once a month. An airplane. So as I was saying, I only get my nails done once a month, right? And it's very early in June. I got them done in May, but like late May, I think. Girl, who cares? What I was about to say is I had to go get them done because I was out here, not done, fixed. I had to get 2 fixed. I was out here working and them nails was just breaking, baby. I said, what is going on? But also this set is kind of old. All right, sorry y'all. If I were to purchase more beds, if I were to somehow find space for more beds, it would be this one, because all you have to do is slide this down into the other little spots. So there are little places that it slides down into, if you can see right here. And that's all you have to do to put it together. And the bed is still a very sturdy bed. And so I like the height of this one too, but you still got to kind of bend as opposed to this Land Guard one. Anyway, my point is, if I was going to buy another bed, it would be this one. Okay, so over here, we now have peppers. They came from my local feed and seed, pretty sure of that. Now, the peppers are doing good in here, but peppers like, as I understand it from the Google, they like to have a little bit of shade at the end of the day, you know, when it gets really hot. So they're looking really good. They're not struggling at all. And I also started some lettuce. And so there's lettuce in here too. This is how I'm gonna try to maximize this space. Honest truth, I could get way more peppers in here, but I'm not going to buy no more peppers. Cause listen, the next time I tell y'all I'm going to buy something, tell me don't do it. Just say no. I ain't spent so much money. Now I'm happy about it. Like, I'm happy with the way the garden is looking, but I ain't spent a lot of money this year. And let's just be clear. If I was working somewhere like a conventional job, I wouldn't have time to just keep running to the store and picking stuff up. But listen, the next time I say I'm gonna go buy somebody say, don't go buy it. You don't need it. Oh, the strawberries. So listen, I had runners in here, the strawberries, there were runners, but I went ahead and just put them in this garden bed too, because if they're gonna grow, that's fine too. Right now they look pretty bad because they don't have any roots. I pulled the runners off of the plant and just put them in there, but they'll bounce back once they get some roots. But yeah, the strawberries that I always forget to tell y'all about, they up there and actually throwing runners out. They was just kind of hanging off the plant, right? And so I just pulled them off and dropped them in this garden bed. The chickens are dust bathing. We love that for them. We love that for them. They need a dust bathing spot, and I'm gonna create one. Now that's something I'm gonna have to go buy. But you see them? They dust bathing. It's supposed to rain again, so this is why I need to create a dust bathing spot for them that is covered until I get the top of that run covered. Anywho, always gonna update y'all on this, because y'all know I got a love-hate relationship with this thing in nettle, baby. So it's over here, and that's where it's gonna stay. And it's a potato in there that we'll never see the harvest from, because I ain't digging through that stinging nettle. Oh, I forgot to show y'all. This is a Cherokee purple tomato over here that I am paying no mind to. I mean, I'm not watering it. I am not pruning it. I'm not doing anything to it. So this is a Vigo self-watering pot, and it comes with a trellis. I'll put a link. It's doing its job. And if y'all remember, if you've been here long enough, I was like, I do not like this pot. True story, that's how the pot got over here. But listen, it's working well. It's self-watering. I think that's got something to do with it. Because look, it's got flowers and everything on it. So I imagine we're gonna get some Cherokee purple tomatoes off of this with literally no work from me. All I did was plant this plant. So yeah. All right, y'all. So I'm pretty sure that's the garden tour for this week. So I hope that you enjoyed it. I think my garden is doing amazingly. I cannot wait for like the weather to really get warm and things to start coming in. Like, I can't wait to start harvesting tomatoes. I could just taste a bacon and tomato sandwich. I could taste it. Can't wait. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to visit me over on Instagram, where I post about the things going on in my garden almost every day. Bye, y'all.